and gentlemen, love, they say, knows no bounds, and one such boundary was broken today for the first time in this part of the world. As the world celebrates Pride Month in June, Thailand is one step away from becoming the first Southeast Asian country to legalize same-sex marriage. Lawmakers in Thailand voted to approve the Marriage Equality Bill, with the Senate passing the bill by 130 votes to 4. It was approved by the House of Representatives in March. The legislation would become a law after it is reviewed by a Senate committee and the Constitutional Court and receives the royal assent from the King, a formality that is widely expected to be granted. But here's what the bill states. It calls marriage a partnership between two people who are 18 years or above without specifying their gender. It also gives LGBTQ+ couples equal rights to adopt children, claim tax allowances, inherit property, and give consent for medical treatment when their partners are incapacitated. But this decision has not been an overnight move. For more than 20 years, the community has been struggling for marriage to be legalized. With this soon-to-be law, the first such weddings are expected to take place later this year, 120 days after the law is announced in the Royal Gazette of the country. Now, here in India, we know that we did get close to legalizing same-sex marriage, but the Supreme Court passed it on to the Parliament. Will India and other countries follow suit, and how does it change the dynamics of how the world perceives LGBTQ+ members? Let's deep dive into it and understand more on this. On the broadcast, I'm joined by Tomar. He's an actor. I'm also joined by Neil Pate. He's a journalist. Good evening and namaskar to both of you. Paras, let me start with you first. This, of course, comes as a good news, the first country in Southeast Asia to be legalizing same-sex marriage. But, of course, it's just the first step in what has been a long, long struggle.
Thailand, in any case, has always been a very safe haven for the LGBTQ community. It's been for years together that a lot of gay men who actually face so much discrimination here, there is so much homophobia here. For a lot of people, Bangkok, Phuket, Pattaya has always been a very easy escape to go and be able to live freely. In fact, I was in Thailand about 2-3 weeks ago just now. The one other thing I've actually seen a lot is a lot of Indian gay men who are unable to dress the way they want to. If they want to really go out and really express themselves, that becomes a free society. Also, it's great because when like you said, we were like just a couple of meters away from being able to get that sanction where they could have probably said, okay, we can have same-sex marriage in this country, but all in good time. Also, Thailand, in any case, the good part about that country is they've also been a country which has been setting a standard to be a first in multiple things. They were also the first Southeast Asian country to legalize marijuana. Even the Americans had done it. What is interesting about this is, when you go to Thailand, when you go to Cambodia, when you go to Vietnam, when you go to Bali, you do see that there is a lot of Hindu influence there. You're also seeing that there is a lot of Ganesha everywhere. So even culturally, plus when you go to these countries, there is some sort of similarity in our culture. A lot of their streets are named after our gods. So when you're taking a cue from that, when Thailand goes out and says, now we are legally doing this, it's a beautiful feeling. And I'm hoping we can sort of, take a little book from their leaf. Otherwise, I'm a very proud Indian boy and I say that, the world should be learning from India. But I think when it comes to this, I think it would be a great country. It's a neighbor of ours where we can actually definitely learn this from. I know even Nepal has a interesting history. They've also, I think they registered their first same-sex marriage, if I'm not wrong, just in April this year. So it's great because I can really see Asia is also coming into its own. Ever since we decriminalized homosexuality, the perception in India changed. A lot of young guys would write to me and say, "Mummy, Daddy mante nahi hai, mujhe marte hain, ye karte hain, wo karte hain." And I would tell a lot of people as an activist saying, now when you go and tell your mom and dad, say, "Bhai, ab jab Supreme Court ne aapko ijazat de di hai," that was a great way to change that mind frame. The sentiment began to change. So the moment something like this happens, public perception follows the law. So I'm really hoping we do take a cue from this. And it's almost like we have a great tester to see what happens here.
Let me take this